What about START? I know you voted against it. You were one of the opponents. Now Senator Kyle has really thrown a roadblock up. Let me read you something from one of your, the former Wyoming Republican Senator Alan Simpson, this time not on the deficit, but on START. He wrote, "The modest reductions in Russian and U.S. nuclear stockpiles will leave the U.S. with a significant and flexible nuclear force. Nothing in the treaty constrains our ability to develop and deploy a robust missile defense system as our military planners see fit. The idea that this treaty somehow makes major concessions to the Russians on missile defense is just simply not true." And I think your vote was predicated on the fact that you thought it was weakening our ability on missile defense. What would you say to Senator Simpson on that?
Actually, he and I did talk about it personally. I will tell you, when you read the preamble to the START treaty, I think it does limit our missile defense. And it's not so much with the Soviets that I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about North Korea, Iran, different rogue states which may be developing nuclear weapons. We need a robust nuclear defense. We need to make sure we do the upgrades to our own nuclear capabilities. And we have to be concerned about rogue nations that come up with their own nuclear attack weapons. So my concerns for our country and for our own security go way beyond just the U.S.-Russia relationship, which is brought up in this treaty. It has to deal with our global defense, Andrea.
The argument, the counter-argument from the White House is that not voting for the START treaty is going to weaken the president's hand, the U.S. hand, with the Russians. It's going to strengthen Putin against Medvedev, who's been much easier to deal with. And in fact, the Russians are key players in helping us with Iran and with Afghanistan. How do you respond to that?
Well, I've been to Russia earlier this year, been to Moscow as well as St. Petersburg, visited with people there, met with them, looked to some of the area with, where nuclear arms are being disarmed there. And I believe in Ronald Reagan's approach of trust but verify.
But that's exactly the point, Senator. With all due respect, that's what the State Department says, that if you believe in trust and verify, this enables us to put people back on the ground there and verify what the Russians are doing, whereas right now we can't.
And I agree with that component of it, but not with the component that weakens our own missile defense against all enemies, not just the Soviet Union.